Hello, my name is Katie. I am an underwater photographer based on the central coast of New South Wales in Australia. This is my online tutorial to using my underwater presets designed for Lightroom for editing. It is a masterclass, so I'm just going to go through my process of how I edit my images. So I'm going to start with firstly, when I come home from a shoot, I'm going to download the raw images from my memory card. I save them onto 2 external hard drives, and then if I'm editing them straight away, I'll also save the raws straight onto my desktop. So the way that I order my images, I can show you here. These are the images that I'm currently working on. So if we go to Zoe, that's the name of the client, I normally have a couple of different files under the client. So I've got the raws, which are going to be imported into Lightroom. And then I've got the edits, which I give to the clients via PickTime. So I'll call my edited file either PickTime or edits. Then I'm also recording behind the scenes video on drone or GoPro or action camera. So I may also have a file there. So once you make sure you've backed up your images, and then once you're ready to go, I'm going to open Lightroom. Now, assuming that you have purchased and downloaded my underwater presets, save them to a space on your desktop or on your computer. And then to import the presets into Lightroom, you're just going to open Lightroom and then come over to, sorry, let's move my head. We go to the develop module and then come over to the left-hand side where you can see I've got my preset panel, and then click on the plus symbol, import presets, and then you just want to direct Lightroom to where you have saved your presets. So when you download my presets, it will come into a zip file. So open the zip file. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh yeah, so I've already imported them, but open the zip file and then select them all, and then they should excuse me, end up in your list of presets here. So I'm just going to go down. I've got a lot of presets in here. Where has my talking head gone? There I am. So where are we? So these are the ones that I'm working on. So I've already imported my images here into Lightroom. For those of you who don't know, or those of you who are still on your learning journey, to import images into Lightroom, we just go up to File, Import Photos. Now I've also already got a catalog going. So here I'm going to just direct Lightroom to pull raw images from the file where we saved them previously. Anyway, so I've got my images here. I'll go back to the develop module. So this is my raw image. So to start editing them using the presets, you can see over here on the left-hand side, I have got presets pull 1, pull 2, black and white, and then ocean, which is OBC, which is One Breath Creative 4, down to 18. And then scrolling down, I have got some sunrise presets down there and a split screen. So what I'm going to do, this was shot in probably about 5 meters of water in the ocean. So I'm going to just work my way through the presets to see which one I like the look of the most. Now, I think I really liked 5 on this one. So I'm going to go with number 5. So click that. So you can see I've already corrected the white balance and brought back the blues just in one click. Now the top of the image, it is looking a little bit pink, so I might just do a linear gradient on that. So go over here, go down to the white balance color, and then perhaps just turn down that magenta a little bit. I might even add in a little bit of yellow. Let's turn that down. I'm happy with that. And then I also, the bottom of the image, the sand is still looking a little bit green. So I might just do a linear gradient from the bottom, possibly add in some whites, turn up the magenta a little bit. So you can play around with those gradients. And then the most important tool for underwater portraits is the AI masking tool, which I've designed for you. So if we scroll back over to our presets, you can go to OBC_AI subject masking tool and just click on that, and you can see all of the hard work is done for you. So that has color graded your subject. Now you can see she is looking a tad pink. So what we'll do is we'll come back over to the right hand side, over to the mask. Let's move my head over to the mask. Oops. Click on the subject mask, so highlight that, and then so we're going to go back down to the white balance and just turn down that magenta, possibly turn down the contrast a little bit, and then I'll just come off there. I'm going to zoom in. A really important thing to remember when you are masking subjects, particularly humans, underwater, is the subject mask is not always perfect. So you can see here where the color has run out of the lines. So what I'm going to do, I've zoomed in and I'm just going to highlight her again. So I'm going to subtract, select objects, and then where that color has ran out of the sort of lines, I'm going to do that, and then that will just remove the color. And then just I can see also along the outside of her thigh and then in between her toes. So I might just do a brush for her thigh and we'll just brush away that color. I might even just use the brush here as well. So it is really important, particularly if you're printing images and sending them to clients, that you sort of zoom in and just check, because it's not always easy to see when you're looking at the whole image. Now, there's also, I'm just going to add some color back in because now we've lost some color from her inner thigh. And I did see in her arms, we'll just come out of the subject masking again. I don't know if you can see on her arms, they're sort of discolored. So if you understand the principles of color in underwater imaging, you lose light and you lose color underneath the ocean, and red is the first color that you lose. So a lot of your images will end up looking blue and potentially washed out, which is why we have to add the reds back in. So if I just go back to that subject mask, you can see her arm isn't fully selected. So I'm going to do add, select object, and I'm just going to run back over her arm and hand. And again, you have to be careful with fingers. Oftentimes in between the fingers will end up being coloured in. That still hasn't captured all of it, so we might just have to do a little bit of hand brushing to bring those colours back. Okay. So I think I'm happy with that overall. You can obviously make adjustments to your style of editing, but that's how easy it is to transform an image. So just to go back to the original, oh, really green, like really no color at all. And then just 2 clicks of the presets, just an incredible transformation. I'm just gonna show you another image. I think I've got a pool image here just to show you how that works on pool images. Here we go. So this was in quite a small pool. It was a really overcast day, so there's not much natural light. So again, we'll just work through the presets. I do have 2 which I use for pools, but I did have a quick look at this before I jumped online, and I think I really liked this one, the OBC7. And so again, just 1 click for the color. I might add some contrast in, brighten that up. I might have to do a lot more adjustments here because it really is quite dark. And then we'll just go to the subject masking again. Let's see how she comes up. Now she's looking really quite pink, and I don't know how well that has worked in the subject selection. So we'll just go over, yeah, so it hasn't captured all of her. So in this case, we will just go to select objects and we will just run around her outline. So we're just adding more of her body to that masking tool, and then we can go back in and adjust the color. This one I think is going to be a bit tricky because she is further away from the camera, so the color has bled quite a bit. Yeah, okay. So anyway, we'll turn that pink down. Let's that's not bad. Maybe a bit more yellow. Now, if I just highlight that again, you can see where the hoop is, that the subject masking has captured that as well. So again, we'll just subtract, select objects. You see, and so we can just spend more time tidying all of this up. And again, you might just need to do some hand brushing, certainly around the hands. You can see it's gone over there. So if I'll just pan out again, you know, like a really quick, simple edit with just 2 clicks. So it really streamlines your editing process. It really helps you achieve really consistent colors. I might just go back to another ocean image and we can do one more together. These ones are quite good. Okay, just reset this one. So again, you can see really quite a green image. So we'll go over to the presets. Let's do the color correction first. That's 5 again. That's 6. I really like that one. Let's do that. I really like that. So that is just one click and you've got all of the blues back. Then we're going to subject mask the subject again. Wow, look at that. Just incredible. I actually don't mind. I don't mind how bold she is. So you can see 2 clicks and it gives you something to work from. So hopefully it really helps you streamline your editing process. Anyway, once I'm happy with the image, file, export. Then these are my export settings. So I'm exporting to my hard drive on my computer. I have set up the file for the particular clients. And then I personally rename, custom name and sequence. So I put my client name in there and then the number sequence. I know some people like to use their own name or their business name in there for SEO, or clients like to have their own business name for SEO, but this is just the way that I organize things on my computer. And then I'm exporting into JPEG, quality 100%. I'm not limiting the file size. I want the colors to be good enough, or the best quality for print. So I'm choosing Pro Photo, RGB, and then I always make sure that down here in the image sizing, the resolution is 300 pixels per inch, and then export. And then you've got your images. So I hope that you found that really helpful. And if you have any questions, then please feel free to contact me directly.